The Essential Education projector range from Hitachi sponsors ICT programs.
Today we focus on literacy and especially writing stories. I help out a Year 5-6 teacher with some ideas on using sound and pictures to stimulate writing. We visit a school in Folkestone to see how one teacher is using ICT to help his pupils write collaboratively. And we've got more top tips for you.
My top tip is the F11 key. If you're looking at internet sites with the children, if you press the F11 key, the address bar will disappear and whatever you're looking at will become a full screen. To return to the previous view, just hit F11 again.
Hello and welcome to ICT SOS. What do you do with your class in the summer term after SATs have finished, and how can the internet help? Well, that was the problem facing Polly Barnes with her Year 5-6 class. She wanted some ideas to help inspire creative writing. So I went along to help.
So at this point in the term with Year 5-6, I need some help to keep them stimulated and focused. They've had lots of preparation for SATs where they've been looking at text. So I'm looking for something new and different that will really stimulate their creative writing. Something with ICT that would keep them focused.
By just going to a search engine and clicking images, you can find any number of pictures of people looking angry or sad or weather or seaside, whatever you want. And there are also free sites where you can go and you can find what we call WAV files, which are small little sound bites that you can attach to the file. So then if we put the two together in PowerPoint, we can create a presentation which we can use with children, which is going to hit your auditory learners and your visual learners, and particularly it's going to inspire the boys who find it much easier to write about something that they can see. So, what's the starting point for the lesson?
It'd be really good to do something on emotions because we're thinking a lot about that at the moment. We've done lots of work in PSHE about moving on and the transition for the Year 6s onto secondary school, so that would work very well.
The idea of using pictures is it's really good for asking those inferential and deductive questions that we're always trying to get at in guided reading, which are tricky. And actually with pictures it's easier because there is no right answer. Right, so a good place to start then is where do you get the pictures from? All you do is you go to your search engine, click on images, and then what I do is put in the emotion that I'm looking for.
And don't forget to check the copyright of anything that you might want to use.
So in this case we've put in screaming and we've got a whole selection of cartoons, line drawings, pictures. Choose the one you like, so if it happens to be that one, you just click on it. So then you just right click, save picture as, give it a name. Now what you then want to be able to do is to find a sound or several sounds that go with that.
I'm going to show Polly a sound website and search for a sound of a man screaming. Don't forget there are several websites you can choose from. I'm going to start by running through how to save a sound file from the website onto the desktop or into a file. You right-click with the mouse, select Save Target As and name it as a WAV file.
Then we're going to create a presentation that you can use, that you can add to in the classroom. Okay. So you open PowerPoint and you get blank presentation. Go to the top, Insert, Picture, From File. Yep. So you just click on it and click on Insert. Now it's quite small, but we can resize it by just getting hold of the corner and dragging it. So then what we want to now do is put a sound on it. Now the way to do that is to go to Slideshow and to go to Action Buttons. And when you do that, you get all of this choice.
You locate the sound file, select it and add it to the presentation. You can also add text. Go to Insert Text Box and type in the text you want.
Right, so we've now find some pictures and some sounds. We now need to look at how we're going to put that in a lesson and what your objective is going to be in that lesson.
We've written some poems recently. We've written a haiku, and that was very good because what I've been trying to encourage the children to do is play around with vocabulary and enjoy words. Yep. And I would like to use that and think about themselves.
So, how will Polly get on?
So have a look carefully at those images. I want you to think about how each person's feeling. Okay, so John, what do you think?
Family's gone away and we've forgotten them.
The family's gone away and forgotten them, and he's all alone. Okay, so
Frustrated.
frustrated. What are we looking at, A or B? A? Frustrated. Okay, so thinking about your facial expression, the facial expressions here, can you describe what that face is like?
It looks like a loved one's just been shot right in front of her.
It looks like a loved one's just been shot. Okay, it does. It looks very tragic, doesn't it? And I'm going to play you now 3 sounds. Which sound best fits picture A? Okay, you ready? This is number 1. Okay, so they're quite similar, aren't they? Which do you think? KB?
I think number 3,
You think number 3, why is that?
because like sometimes you go like, oh.
And it's a shorter sound,
Yeah.
is it?
The class has been working on haikus. Polly wants the Year 6s to write a new poem about their feelings on moving up to secondary school, and for the Year 5s moving into Year 6. Thinking about the images and sounds they've seen in the introduction, what would they look like if they were in a picture thinking about the transition ahead of them?
Think for yourself about what you're going to put into this poem. Okay. So again, what are you feeling? You're trying to get that okay feeling.
My haiku is about me moving on to Year 6. A breathtaking time, a ginormous step away, and a breathtaking day.
The lesson ends with the pupils presenting their poems to the rest of the class.
Stomach is jumping, top to bottom, old to new, restless what to do.
Okay. Where would you think that picture of her will be taken? Chloe?
Living her best, tossing and turning.
Laying in her bed, tossing and turning. She might be. Is that right, Elizabeth?
I didn't know where I'd be really.
You
Sort of on the way there.
On the way there, on the way to your new school. Okay, so that's it for today. We've used those images and we've thought about those emotions. You were really good at thinking about the emotions in those photographs, and you've painted your own pictures in words now. Well done.
I thought that the images that she found were really good. They were open to interpretation, particularly those that she found at the beginning. Some of the children thought that they looked really frustrated, and other children obviously thought they looked anguished or distraught, and the language was beautiful. Nobody was right, nobody was wrong. That's the joy of a picture, really.
I think the lesson went quite well. The children were clearly taken with the images, and I think it did achieve its purpose in that they started talking about their feelings.
Don't forget, you can find out information about how to access free sounds and images on the internet or anything else you've seen on the programme by visiting the Teachers TV website. And now for some more top tips.
My top tip is to use the internet, because outside in the internet there is a whole vast number of animations, video clips and so on which you can use in the classroom to try and help the students visualise science, which we cannot demonstrate in the classroom with a normal standard experiment.
Celebrate success. Your students create great files that you can use to effect. Showcase them on notice boards or a website, and they'll love the praise.
My top tip: if you're not sure about the shortcuts on the keyboard, just drop down one of the menus and you'll actually see them on the right-hand side of that pane.
Finally today, another approach to storytelling. We went to visit a primary school in Folkestone where James Bloomfield has been using collaborative online story writing with his Year 5 pupils. They got so enthusiastic they even used it at home. Now anything that can do that must be worth a look.
In today's lesson, we're going to review the elements of good writing, so that we're going to go through those and remind the class what kind of features they should be looking out for and recommending to each other. And then we're going to take them into the ICT suite where they'll log on to a website that we use. I find that it's really useful because it's an online environment. Many schools have their own flavour of online community. It's a virtual learning environment. This is great because it's mediated.
Our learning objective today is to recognise and use the 4 features of good writing: V, C, O and P. Can anyone tell me, what does the V stand for? What does the V stand for? Chloe, could you tell us?
Ambitious vocabulary.
Ambitious vocabulary. What kind of words might that be? Chloe, any ideas? Yes, Bradley. We'll come back to you, don't worry. Yes.
Incompatible.
Oh, yeah, great. Incompatible, good.
Monstrosity.
Monstrosity, brilliant word. Excellent word. OK.
James takes the class through the other elements of VCOP: connectives, sentence openers and punctuation.
Instead of using full stops, which is a bit boring, you can use full stops, colons, semicolons, question marks, commas, exclamation marks, and...
Yeah, brilliant. You've just said loads there. Fantastic. Well done. Now, we're going to move to the work we were doing online, and you have started to publish the most brilliant collaborative stories. Now,
The class has been working on a collaborative story writing project. Working in groups of 3, they choose a theme and then write either the beginning, middle or end of the story.
I'm going to look at one to start off with, and I think we should all suggest ways of improving it. OK, and it's called Capel School Adventure. Can I have a volunteer just to read the first paragraph?
I arrived in the year 2106 and walked out of the TARDIS.
OK, now, Edward hasn't finished this. He's just put these 3 dots. What are those 3 dots?
Eclipses.
No, it's not eclipses. Jasmine.
Are they ellipses?
Yes, they are. Well done. And what could we add to this? I arrived in the year 2106 and walked out of the TARDIS. What could we say happened next?
I saw a nice new school which don't see 1,000 years from now.
Yeah, OK. Now, we're going to be using our online clubs.
Some of the pupils go to the ICT suite to read and comment on each other's stories.
It would be great if you could all look at different stories. Remember, you can email the person, you can email the author by clicking on their name, or you can visit the school forum and then you can leave your comments there for them.
We divided ourselves into 3 and we all decided who would do the beginning, middle and end. I did the beginning, Bradley did the middle and Callum did the end, and we all had our own ideas.
It's very easy for the children to share what they've written together and send each other emails or post comments in forums. So that's precisely what we've done. We set up a forum on the collaborative story that they're writing. It's based on the school in 100 years' time.
If you click on it, it will show people your stories. So if we go on 100 years from now, it shows us our stories. This is mine, Bradley's and Callum's.
We have a formula what's on here. Say if we were sunk in there, say like, Rebecca, your story is well done. Rebecca, say well done, Rebecca.
And then you can post reply, and then it comes up down here.
And like, you will get sent back ones. Emma Richardson from me, it says Bradley, Brill story, but she could add more punctuation.
I think the great thing about using ICT is it's really encouraged the children and inspired them to write better because they know it's going to be seen by lots of people.
It's like really fun for people to do.
Yeah, it lets everyone know like about how good you are at stories, and it shows you like what you want to write about.
Because I've got them suggesting the improvements, it's in fact an example of higher order learning because they're having to think about it and teach and show and give examples to their friends.
Well, that's about it for this programme, but before we go, here's a top tip from me. If you are using sounds, it's well worth buying a pair of external speakers. It really makes the quality so much better. Don't forget, you can find out information about anything you've seen in this programme, or indeed the series, by visiting the Teachers TV website. And I'll see you next time.
Essential education projectors from Hitachi sponsor ICT programs.